Hey, welcome to Night Combos. It's Lovey here. Okay, so listen, Gypsy, we're going to need you to come get your dad, or Kristy, come get your husband, please. Oh wait, never mind, that's right. Y'all can't, because Gypsy is down to having to use Rod as her mouthpiece now, we guess. Because we all know Gypsy is only going to pop onto TikTok or social media every 29 days to keep her account active, and it's not time for that yet. Let us know what y'all think, though. We have a clip of Rod going on a live talking to this Lady Starfall woman on TikTok who desperately wants to be Bree 2.0, from what all we've seen anyway. So we're going to take a look at it, talk about it, and like always, I will play the full clip without interrupting it at the end of the video. And just to let y'all know, hubby and I were thinking about and talking about going live maybe tomorrow night, Friday night, well not night, but evening, or Saturday evening around 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about this and also the case that we posted the other day with the 11-year-old little girl who gave birth at home, and that sad case. But we'll make a post on our community page here on YouTube before we do that, so that y'all will have a little bit more of a heads up this time before we go live as to what day and time we're going to do it and everything. So make sure you have your notifications turned on and be looking out for the post on our page for that. And before we jump into everything, I have to say from hubby and I both, thank you so very much to all of our subscribers. Thank you so much to all of our new subscribers, and welcome. We truly love and appreciate every single one of you so very much. We're so grateful for all of you. Without all of you, we would not have the family and channel and community here that we have now. And we absolutely know that. So thank you all so much for helping us build this family and community here on YouTube. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos or posts. And also leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below about everything we talk about. And we'll be conversating with y'all like always. And we would appreciate it so much. We've seen where some of you have already watched that video we posted about the 11-year-old. We greatly appreciate that. We are so grateful for all of you who are interested in not only our Gypsy content, but the other content we post as well. We truly appreciate that. And hubby and I are working on responding to some of the comments that we can get to from that video as well, just to let y'all know. So thank y'all so much for everything. Okay, jumping over here to TikTok, let's look at this video clip of Rod and talk about it. First, take a listen to this video that Bev over on TikTok did. Hubby and I found it pretty funny. Y'all take a listen.
Of course, I'll let my daughter and my future children read this book. This is actually for them to have when they come of age, where they can understand everything that I went through, that my mother went through, because it's such a hard story to take in. He wanted me to myself with a 9-inch. He had mail ordered from Japan, and the thought of the object made me queasy. Bad girl that I was, put it in all three of my. I just taking out my dentures to try to ease. All the while, my tongue the plastic, up and down, all around. Minutes lasted between sounds of my swallowing and smacking until I rubbed the right amount of barbecue sauce or ketchup on my body in the bathtub.
Hubby and I thought that was kind of funny, especially when she did this little Bev did this little cartoon of what's supposed to be Aurora when she's a little older reading the book My Time to Stand that Gypsy so badly wants her to read for whatever weird reason. Okay, Rod, this is for you since we're about to look at your video clip. This is for you, Rod.
Why didn't I just run away? I don't get asked that stuff. Well, the first time.
Okay. Why didn't I just run away? You hear that, Rod? Did you hear that? And she's saying she doesn't get asked that stuff.
Why didn't I just run away? I don't get asked that stuff. Well, the first time that I tried to run away from home, within 4 hours, I got as far as it's outside of town.
So many people have asked that, Gypsy. Why didn't you just run away? Because we all know now you could have just ran away. The only reason your mother came after you as an adult within 4 hours, if that's the truth, if it was really within 4 hours, was because one, Dan's friends thought you were underage and called and let her know where you were, and two, because she was wanting the money and narcotic prescriptions that you stole from her back. That's the truth about that, right, Gypsy? Yeah. So just to give y'all an idea of who Lady Starfall over on TikTok is, the person who wants to be Bree 2.0 so badly is this woman right here. And the reason we say she wants to be Bree 2.0 so badly is because she is constantly, it's either straight rage bait or she really is falling for all of this crap and all of these BS lies. Because she will get on here and make videos saying, here's this one piece of paper of Gypsy's medical records, and it says that her teeth were removed. Okay, well, did you read the whole thing? Like we showed y'all in a previous video where it showed that she had a lawyer and a social worker working with her as an adult to say that she was not incompetent, that her mom did not need incompetency papers on her, and that Gypsy could sign for her own medical procedures. Therefore, the social worker called the anesthesiologist and the dentist and let them know that Gypsy could sign her own medical documents and signed for her own teeth to be removed. And when people try, like us, try to tell this Lady Starfall those facts, she says, well, I don't see that on the paper. Or, well, yeah, that's because her mom made her. What do you mean her mom made her do? Her mom was trying to get incompetency papers on her. So, what do you mean her mom made her sign to get her teeth removed? That makes absolutely no sense. Then here she is, standing here with that piece of art that we've all seen, if that's what you want to call it, art, that Gypsy Rose Blanchard blew or whatever, and then she wrote in a gold marker on the front of it, Gypsy Rose. You can kind of see it right down here in the bottom corner. And she's saying, happy birthday to me, order one. And she's got on the screen how to order one. Don't order one. That's just my opinion. And then she's got made and signed by Gypsy Rose. Like, can we just all come together and remember that this girl is simply well known because she unalived someone and that someone was her own mother? Can we please not forget that fact? She's not a celebrity. She has no talent of any kind. She's not a singer. She's not an actress. She's not a princess. She's not the dang Queen of England. She is no one. She is a nobody. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, we're nobodies, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, hubby and I are not famous. We're no one, okay? Like, I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm just saying, Gypsy is no one. She's not famous. She is simply well known because she is a schmurderer. Simple as that. Okay, so here we go with Rod's video. Sorry about that. I hope y'all enjoyed those 2 little clips that we showed at the beginning there.
The screen to pull my note up.
Wait a minute. Okay, sorry, TikTok had a lag there.
You. How do I do
Rod's
this?
trying to figure out how to get it pulled up on his screen or something. How to get the live pulled up on his screen.
I don't know. Well, yeah, so I just read a note that I wrote. You'll hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just some questions I had for all the haters. You know, if their story is that everything can be explained.
Okay, wait a minute there, Rod. We have never said that we hate Gypsy. Just because people speak out about her and present all the truth and facts that y'all don't want out here, Rod, does not mean they hate her or that we hate her. We have said we don't like the person that she is and continues to be. We have said that she can really piss you off with the BS lies she tells. So get that straight right there, Rod. Okay, so go ahead. Continue on, Rod.
If their story is that everything can be explained from the microdeletion and Dee Dee was actually a good mother, you know, some simple questions like, why was she in a wheelchair? And these are all questions that you don't even need to do a lot of research and go read all the medical records and all this stuff. Just some simple questions. Why was she in a wheelchair since 5 or 6 years old and made to stay in the wheelchair? Why take biopsies on her legs? Why remove her salivary glands?
Very true.
Why forge her birth certificate? If she was such a good mother, why would you do that? You know, I mean, that's just some simple things that, right, yeah, she does have a microdeletion. There are symptoms. And some of her things, her eyes being crossed, might have something to do with the microdeletion. Some people say it doesn't. But take all of the facts, not just some of the things you can validate, all the facts regarding abuse. I don't care what y'all want to call it. You can call it Munchausen's by proxy or whatever, or malingering.
That's what
it
y'all
doesn't
call
matter.
it.
That's just a technical term.
Right.
At the end of the day, it was abuse, and how they cannot see that
It's mind-boggling.
Gypsy was just in a position of complete helplessness after being held like that for so many years, and they can't sympathize, and you know, they just want to blame her and say she was in on the scam, and there's evidence that, you know, she was in on the scam. Well, of course, that's all she was trained to do and forced to do all of her life. So
her whole life.
It's just astounding that people, and that's why I say I can't understand why anybody can hate on her so much. I get it. They might be a little jealous and all.
Okay, Gypsy was never made to stay in a wheelchair, Rod. And I don't think anyone's saying that other than y'all. And y'all are the ones that are using the term Munchausen by proxy. And you also got the age wrong. Gypsy has always said she was made to stay in a wheelchair until starting at the age of 8. But you said 5 or 6 just now. And did y'all hear Lady Starfall and whoever else is on the panel with her agreeing, saying, yep, that's true. That's all true. No, it's not. So that proves right there that you don't have any facts either, Lady Starfall, just like Bree, just like the other minions. But Gypsy was never made to stay in a wheelchair, Rod. Heck, we've done videos explaining perfectly to a T how Gypsy would not be able to walk today if she was made to stay in a wheelchair like she claims 24/7. So be for real. She would have lost the muscle mass in her legs due to disuse atrophy. Rod, immobility, especially in a growing child, would lead to muscle breakdown and weakening. Rod, her muscles would have become smaller and weaker, impacting the strength and mobility. Her legs would not have built any muscle in them for her to be able to walk to this day. Rod, when your muscles are not used at all, like your daughter likes to claim was forced on her, the body doesn't need to expend energy maintaining them. Therefore, the body would break down the muscles, which would cause them to shrink and become weaker. Muscle biopsies were taken because your daughter was claiming she could not feel her legs and she couldn't walk. If you ever pay attention, Rod, your daughter even said she had a seizure during one of her surgeries, which left her not being able to walk and tingling in her legs. And a few days later, she felt tingling in her legs, and she knew she could move them again and that she could walk. But she was scared to tell her mother, Dee Dee, that because she was scared her mom would not love her anymore. So they did the biopsy to try and see what was going on. Here's a better question, Rod. Why was your daughter knowingly not telling the truth about it? I know that we have explained and explained and explained why some of her salivary glands were removed. Why, Rod, do you think she has to lick her lips so much still to this day? Answer that. I'm not being mean, I'm being very serious. If you ever notice when Gypsy is talking, most of the time her lips are very wet because she still has some drooling. If you noticed when she drinks something, like during her last live that she done, to keep her account active and to try to garner sympathy and empathy, she had that water bottle and she would take a sip out of it here and there, and she was like, oh, I'm going to try not to get emotional, and she took a sip out of her water bottle. It's just the tiniest little sip. So if Rod would pay attention, he would notice when she drinks something, she takes the tiniest sips. You know why that is, Rod? It's because your daughter, Gypsy, had to go through extensive testing before they would put a feeding tube in. See, all of this plays in together with all the other symptoms. The salivary glands go in with the feeding tube, which goes in with the teeth being removed. All of this stuff plays in together. And of course, her using a baby bottle until she was 24 years old. We have shown the medical documents proving that she had several specialists come in before the doctors placed the tube. Gypsy had what's called an MBS done, a modified barium swallow test, where she had to try and chew and swallow different consistencies of food and liquid, and she could barely get anything down. She could hardly swallow without choking, and most things she spit back out. She also saw a speech therapist and other specialists before having all of this done, Rod. And before you even say it, yes, you can grow out of a lot of these things and not need them anymore. Again, though, pay attention when you see Gypsy take a bite of food or sip of liquid. It is tiny, still to this day, because she still somewhat has these swallowing problems. Remember the video we showed y'all of her in Texas, and Ken took her to some restaurant in Texas where they got tacos or something for breakfast, and she bit the top of the taco, and she took too big of a bite, and she had to put her hand in front of her mouth and then put a napkin in front of her mouth and everything, because she couldn't barely chew it. Then after that, she started taking little tiny bites and little sips of drink at a time. Another example is the video that we showed y'all of them on Donut Day, National Donut Day. And she was taking small bites of the donuts, trying them. It's just little small. It literally reminds me of the size of a bite that a toddler would take. I'm not being mean, I'm seriously speaking. And yes, Rod, we do say Gypsy was in on the scam. We think he knows that Gypsy was in on the scam just as much as we do. Other than what was medically necessary, why was Gypsy malingering? Meaning fabricating other symptoms and making it out like the things she truly did have wrong with her were worse than what they were. Rod, you need to be asking Gypsy all of these things, not all of us who have actually answered all of these questions over and over again, multiple times, a literal multitude of times, using her medical documents and every ounce of facts and receipts that we can to prove it to you and show it to you and everyone else that doesn't want to believe it, that wants to believe Gypsy was just this poor, pitiful, helpless little thing like you just said.
It's very true.
Why forge her birth certificate? If she was such a good mother, why would you do that? You know, I mean, that's just some simple things that, right, yeah, she does have a microdeletion.
Y'all see this comment right here where someone said Dee Dee didn't remove her salivary glands, nor did she do the muscle biopsies. Doctors did. Insurance companies will not pay for any of that without tests to prove they were necessary. Lady Starfall here responds with, when your mom's a master manipulator and doesn't let her daughter talk, it's not hard to manipulate the doctors. Is she freaking serious or is she trolling? We have never said that Dee Dee was the most absolute, best, perfect mom out there, because she's not. Or should I sadly say she wasn't? We don't believe anyone is a perfect mom because no one is perfect. That doesn't mean that you don't try to be the best mom you know how to be, though. Most normal moms are always trying harder to be better and do better. We do believe that because Rod chose not to be in Gypsy's life and has admitted to that, it made Dee Dee have to do some, in lack of better words, out of the ordinary things. We also believe that Dee Dee did the best she possibly could to take care of her child, her sick child, who had all these different symptoms going on. She did everything she had to do to take care of Gypsy, this absolute spoiled brat, which, yes, some of that is Dee Dee's fault. Some would even say a lot of that was Dee Dee's fault. Another thing we believe is that Gypsy, without a doubt, learned very early on and very quickly how to use her medical illnesses to garner sympathy and get attention. Most of us know Gypsy absolutely did that. The proof has been shown of that. So, yes, Rod, Gypsy was most certainly a part of the cons and grifting that was going on. She was forced to go to Disney World, forced to go to Universal Studios, forced to meet celebrities and get anything she asked for. Really, Rod? Okay, sure. Dee Dee was left with having to figure out how to take care of her sick child and survive, because where were you, Rod? You dang sure weren't anywhere paying child support or helping Dee Dee take care of the daughter that you all of a sudden now want to care about. Where were you then, Rod? Oh, that's right. You were out running around with women, having a whole new family with Kristy, like you didn't lay down and make 2 children, 2 daughters, that you signed your rights over for one of, Nicolette, and didn't have anything to do with the other one, Gypsy, all before you ever had children with Kristy. Okay, continue on, Rod. Y'all notice some of the comments over to the side, to the right over here of the screen too, by the way. But go ahead, Rod, with your BS.
Gypsy was just
Wait a
in a
minute.
position of...
I apologize, y'all. Sorry.
It's mind-boggling.
Gypsy was just in a position of complete helplessness after being held like that for so many years.
Oh my God.
And they can't sympathize, and they just want to blame her and say she was in on the scam, and there's evidence that she was in on the scam. Well, of course, that's all she was trained to do and forced to do all of her life. So
her whole life.
Well, we're glad that you can admit that, yes, she was in on the scams.
Astounding that people, and that's why I say I can't understand why anybody can hate on her so much. I get it. They might be a little jealous and all, but really, if that's really how you feel, what if that would be your family or somebody you knew that had to go through all of that? Would you feel the same way?
I would call it out. I would be questioning their parent. I'd be saying, something's not right here. Possibly calling Child Protective Services. Doing whatever I could to protect that child. Everything you didn't do, Rod.
I think it's just jealousy. I think...
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to throw any names out there, but I think it just kind of started from one person, and just, she found a little slither of something that she can, say, turn the story around, and that's it, But anyway, thanks for listening. That's all I wanted to say. I have more, but I can't figure out how to use TikTok. So.
Yeah, that's true, and I'm sorry you went through all that.
Thank you.
And we'll always stand by Gypsy because it's all true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they can't see that.
For y'all support. I think y'all are all reasonable and sympathetic people, and apparently good people as well. Thank you.
You think they're sympathetic and good people as well? And why? Because they'll always stand by Gypsy because they say it's all true. You literally just said she was in a wheelchair from the ages of 5 to 6. You don't even know your own self, Rod. So you don't even know what age she was put in a wheelchair, apparently. Because you were around her at that age. So, I mean, was she made to stay in a wheelchair at ages 5 and 6? Was she? Because she was still in Louisiana then. Why didn't you do anything about it?
For your support. I really believe she's got a lot more support than haters. I mean, the loud ones always you see them first, but I really don't think there's a million people, or a lot of hate towards her. I really don't. Most people we meet, or all the people we meet, she meets. I've never met anybody that was disrespectful to us or her or anything like that. So I think it's just all for sure to maybe make some money. It's their prerogative, free speech. Let it rip.
Well, we're here for all of you.
Yeah, we just want them to know the truth, so...
Yep, so do we. That's why we're putting it out there. That's why we're putting the truth out there. Because we want people to know the actual truth and facts, not what y'all spew.
Yeah, y'all are doing a good job. I'll listen to y'all for a little while. I never listened to y'all before. I didn't even know where y'all from or anything like that. But it sounds like y'all were doing a decent job of interpreting what y'all... have there, so good work. Appreciate it.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
You're welcome.
It's our pleasure.
Hey. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Thanks for coming up.
Keep going. Good. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay, and the rest of it there is just him trying to figure out how to get down off of the panel, and they have to help him off of the panel. But Audrey J said, Gypsy admits she has scoliosis. That is why she needs a wheelchair. She wasn't made to be in a wheelchair. Dee Dee was trying to get a diagnosis for her sickly child, so they ran tests. Nothing Gypsy went through validated premeditated schmurder, Rod. We are not jealous of her. We are disgusted. And Lady Starfall comes back with, do you have proof of that, or is that just hearsay? Yes, there's proof of that, Lady Starfall, and you've literally been shown it. And I know that for a fact because we have shown it to you. We have pointed it out to you, Lady Starfall. Like one person over here in the comments said, Rod admitted himself in the emails to Gypsy, in the prison emails, that Dee Dee was a good mother. But Rod, you said all you can figure is that we're just all jealous. That's why we're putting the actual, real, true facts out about Gypsy, and y'all don't know how to take it. Y'all can't stand it. And the only thing you can figure is that we're jealous. That's the only reason we're doing it, is because we're jealous. Jealous of what? Tell us, Rod. What do we have to be jealous of? That we have our moms? That we didn't unalive our moms? That we are not felons? Jealous of being broke and having a, quote, nest egg that's not enough to live off of, as Gypsy put it? Not having any life skills? Having absolutely no ambition to gain any life skills? What is it, Rod, that we are so dang jealous of Gypsy over? I have a question for you, though, Rod. Is that just something you think is a clapback or a flex to say because you've heard Jippadoodle and your wife and the other minions say it so much? Huh? Let us know. Here's an even better question for you, Rod. Why did you choose to just believe Dee Dee, like you've said in interviews, instead of actually being a part of your daughter's life and going to see her, fighting for her, or anything to help her, since you want to put this all on Dee Dee and everyone else just like your daughter does? Why didn't you go check on things for yourself? Why didn't you check on your own daughter to see how things were for yourself? Why didn't you say, I'm going to the doctors with you, Dee Dee, to ask some questions? Because if she fought you on it, all you would have had to do is take her to court. You didn't want that to happen, though, did you, Rod? You could have certainly done all of these things and gotten to the bottom of it to find out the truth, just like we all have, who have opened our eyes or always had our eyes opened. You didn't want to go and dig into the truth when Gypsy was growing up and all of that, because you didn't like being drug into court to pay child support. It is absolutely absurd that Gypsy can go boo-hoo crying to Rod, Ken, the minions, the brainless cult minions, and they will all jump online and start defending her left, right, and center, making absolutely no sense whatsoever. This all boils down to Rod didn't and still does not care to know the actual truth or the facts, or he likes playing dumb. It's something, though. What do y'all think it is? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not calling Rod dumb. I'm saying he likes playing dumb. Or either he doesn't care to know about the truth and facts, the real truth and facts. But again, what are y'all's thoughts and opinions? Let us know in the comment section down below, and we'll be conversating with y'all like always. Thank you again so much to all of you that are subscribed to us, all of you hyping our videos, the people that have gotten memberships that have sent super thanks, that it just simply comment supportive words and kind words to us. All of that just means so very much to us. It truly does. So thank you all again so much for being subscribed. We truly appreciate all of our subscribers and love y'all so much. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos or our posts about going live. And we'll see y'all in the next one. We hope y'all have a good night and God bless. Bye. Here's that video without any interruptions.
You hear me now, right?
Yeah, I could hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just some questions I had for all the haters. You know, if their story is that everything can be explained from the micro deletion and Dee Dee was actually a good mother, you know, some simple questions like, why was she in a wheelchair? And these are all questions that you don't even need to do a lot of research and go read all the medical records and all this stuff. Just some simple questions. Why was she in a wheelchair since 5 or 6 years old and made to stay in the wheelchair? Why take biopsies on her legs? Why remove her salivary glands?
It's very true.
Why forge her birth certificate? If she was such a good mother, why would you do that? You know, I mean, that's just some simple things that, right, yeah, she does have a microdeletion. There are symptoms. And some of her things, her eyes being crossed, might have something to do with the microdeletion. Some people say it doesn't. But take all of the facts, not just some of the things you can validate, all the facts regarding abuse. I don't care what y'all want to call it. You can call it Munchausen's by proxy or whatever, or malingering. It doesn't matter. That's just a technical term.
Right.
At the end of the day, it was abuse, and how they cannot see that Gypsy was just in a position of complete helplessness after being held like that for so many years, and they can't sympathize, and you know, they just want to blame her and say she was in on the scam, and there's evidence that, you know, she was in on the scam. Well, of course, that's all she was trained to do and forced to do all of her life. So
her whole life.
It's just astounding that people, and that's why I say I can't understand why anybody can hate on her so much. I get it. They might be a little jealous and all, but really, if that's really how you feel, what if that would be your family or somebody you knew that had to go through all of that? Would you feel the same way? And it's just, I think it's just jealousy. I think I mean, I don't want to throw any names out there, but I think it just kind of started from one person, and just, you know, she found a little slither of something that she can, you know, say, turn the story around, and that's it, you know. But anyway, thanks for listening. That's all I wanted to say. I have more, but I can't figure out how to use TikTok. So.
Yeah, that's true, and I'm sorry you went through all that.
Thank you.
And we'll always stand by Gypsy because it's all true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they can't see
Thank
that.
y'all for your support. I think y'all are all reasonable and sympathetic people, and apparently good people as well. Thank y'all for your support. I really believe she's got a lot more support than haters. I mean, the loud ones always you see them first, but I really don't think there's a million people, you know, or a lot of hate towards her. I really don't. Most people we meet, or all the people we meet, she meets. I've never met anybody that was disrespectful to us, or her, or anything like that. So I think it's just all for sure to maybe make some money. It's their prerogative, free speech. Let it rip.
Well, we're here for all of you.
Yeah, we just want them to know the truth, so.
Yeah, y'all doing a good job. I'll listen to y'all for a little while. I never listened to y'all before. I didn't even know where y'all from or anything like that, but it sounds like y'all were doing a decent job of interpreting what y'all have there. So have there. So good work. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's our pleasure.
Okay. Y'all have a good night.
You
Hey,
too.
thanks for coming up.
Keep going. Good. All right. Bye.